This is a Pinus Halepensis that is failed onto a Quercus agrifolia, California live oak and Aleppo pine. We had the station fire here in Southern California end of August 2009. It's been a couple of years ago, a little more than 2 years ago. And we find that many trees were lost in that grove. It was a grove of perhaps 50 trees on a plateau, a little terrace up above over here. And most of the trees were lost. There's only about 5 left out of the grove. 9 out of 10 trees were lost in this fire. The largest one and the most exposed tree in the grove is the one that failed. The tree did not uproot. The tree did not have a root crown failure to the ground. The tree actually snapped at the trunk and broke off. There was also fire injury to the bark on the north side of the trunk, and that could have played into the tree's failure as well. We did have a strong blow. We had a sharp little windstorm pass through here a few weeks ago, and the failure was observed the next day. The forest edge effect results when a tree has failed because it's lost its companions. Trees that stand in a grove shelter and support and buffer each other from wind loads. When we remove the companion trees from a major individual specimen, it's receiving new loads, new unaccustomed loads that the tree is able to receive, and then failures happen as a result of that, sometimes called forest edge effect. We think that's what's happened here. As we see, this trunk was scorched in the fire. The uphill side of this trunk was burned pretty bad, scorched pretty bad. The tree remained alive, however, and we felt viability was still there for it. This was not a tree that had been burned to death. The tree was still alive. We had lots of pine needles on top. The tree still had viability, we felt, but the combination of the exposed trunk to the fire weakened it and further set the tree up for failure. And then again, standing alone at the edge of a grove that had been removed, this tree was standing alone and vulnerable to forest edge effect. So this tree has failed with prevailing lean in a windstorm onto a neighboring tree. Well, we weren't kidding when we said we lost some companion trees. These are the cut down, felled, and bucked up companion trees to our failure specimen over here. So you can see this pile is nearly 6 feet tall and 50 feet long by 8 feet wide. So this represents more than 40 specimen pines of about 35 years of age each. And so these were the companion trees that were helping to share wind loads and protect our canyon edge trees. And of course, our largest one has failed out here on the bluff. This is an example of forest edge effect, where we have companion trees that are lost, burned, and removed, and now the remaining tree or trees stand vulnerable to new unexperienced wind loads and exposure loads. It doesn't take a fire to get forest edge effect. You can have a large landscape tree come out of a landscape, come out of a backyard, and now the remaining trees, some may benefit from the extra light, some may suffer from too much light, and many of them may suffer from new wind loads, new unexperienced forces that they now receive with the companion trees removed.